Welcome, Taurus. This is your June 22nd to June 28th forecast. And for you, the most influential transit is going to be Mars sextile Jupiter on June 22nd. And that's going to highlight your career and finances. So you'll find new momentum in your professional life, especially when your work aligns with your deeper values and offers service to others. So allow each practical step you take to be infused with intention and love, and focus on abundance through alignment, not hustle. So very clear message about you being right at the precipice of change, of growth, of abundance, and you're so close, so keep going. We also have the Two of Wands coming up, so you may be quite literally very much focused on trying to figure out what path you want to go down. If you want to continue with those activities that spark your passion and ignite that fire within you, that creativity, that flow, you feeling in alignment with source, like those particular activities, you exploring and expanding those gifts and talents versus your 9 to 5, that traditional matrix type of structure for making money. So you likely are sort of at that place where you're deciding which path is for you. We also have the Seven of Cups here as well. So you could also be, I don't necessarily want to say fantasizing, but you could be dreaming, you could be visualizing, you could be thinking about what it is going to feel like when you are feeling fulfilled, feeling whole and complete. You may also be thinking in terms of like, what are going to be my plans here based on the path that I'm choosing, or even some of you may be considering both areas and exploring both paths, and what would be your plan for that. So let's also look at any obstacles here. Okay, so some of you may also be in a healing process, or you could be just feeling like you need to recover from something that's occurred within the working environment, or just, excuse me, feeling like you want to, again, feel whole and complete again. So whatever has happened previously, there may have been a setback of some sort. You are likely, like I said, recovering from that and deciding, like, you know, what, based on things that have happened, is it that's right for me? What path is right for me? And I feel like some of you may have thought that what you were previously doing was right for you, and now things are just like completely up in the air. And with that brings infinite possibilities and opportunities. So it's really all in the way that you view it and look at it. But you are at this point being confronted with the healing process. And it's going to depend on how far you are along that path. But just know that this is really a place and a time for you to heal. So that is coming up as a challenge for you. So for some, maybe still working through that process. And for others of you, you may be feeling that you're much further along in that process than others. We have hope and faith coming up here as a challenge as well. So then I would ask, like, how far do you think you really are if we have hope and faith coming up here as a challenge? So again, it's really all in your perspective and the way that you're viewing things and looking at things, but you're being guided. Really do not give up that hope. Do not give up that faith, because you are so close. You are so close. You have the support in all the realms. Okay, so we have welcome the unknown, let yourself be surprised. And I feel like that's a very poignant message here, because as a Taurus, I'm a Taurus myself here, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to be surprised. I want to know everything that's coming up so I can be prepared for it, so I can make adjustments to it if it's not what I'm desiring. Like, yeah, I want to know everything. I want to know what I'm supposed to be doing here, what paths I should take, all of that. But this is just that reminder of, you need to allow yourself to flow with life, and where possible, where you do have the choices, those decision points, make the decision based off of your intuition and what feels right to you and what feels good to you. The rest will come, and enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Okay, what else? Look at challenges here. So we do have some frustration and lessons, but we also have peace and harmony. So that is crazy. The way that you look at things, it's all about your perception. And we just said that. And we have two opposing sides here coming out as challenge, as something of a focus for you this week. So again, it's about, you can take it and look at it and view it as challenge, contrast, frustration, heartache, pain, or you can view it as opportunity in a way, and that allowance for you to take the time you need to heal yourself and to get yourself back to a better feeling place so that you are ready to welcome what's coming towards you, which is opportunity, abundance, and blessings. Okay? What else? Okay, so you know who you are. You are quite literally the Empress. And you know what your power is. You know that you can give birth to anything that you desire at any time. You know that you create your reality. What else? And for some reason, you may not be standing in this power. So there could be fears, there could be doubts that are hindering your growth, that are hindering you and prohibiting you from fully being that Empress that you are. Okay? And I'm also seeing here that you may have a fear of change as well. So that's very clear here, because we are looking at subconsciously what's underneath and what's coming up as fears, and we have it right here. So knowing things will change and you're being guided to be open to what comes towards you. And we know that's a challenge for you this week. And then quite literally, we have that fear of the unknown coming up here, and understanding that you are transforming. You are this butterfly that is transforming. So there's no need to be afraid or worry about that. And it's about trusting that all will be well, all will work out for your highest good. And although that doesn't mean it's perfect, it's going to be exactly how you want, that means that you're going to have the opportunity to learn lessons and shift and adjust to states that are more aligned with your authentic self, so that you can connect with that frequency of abundance and you achieving all that you desire. We also have the Seven of Swords here as well. So you may also be considering making moves or taking steps in a particular direction, and you don't necessarily have a plan for that. So it may be beneficial to you to draft some sort of plan, or a couple ideas, or a goal, or some task that you know that you need to do. And I think I used this example before at some point, but this is like if you want to explore that side business and you know, like you want to open an LLC. Well, you know, there's a couple steps involved with that, so you may want to jot that down and, you know, maybe identify a couple things that you know are required as a part of that process. So that's what I'm talking about when I say, like, draft your plan and know that nothing is set in stone. It is an evolutionary process, and you are going to change things to adjust to who you are and what's needed for you at that point in time along the way. So it's not like drafting a plan and not changing it and now you have to do those things. Absolutely not. And you can decide at any time that it's not for you, or it doesn't align with who you are or what you're becoming, and it needs to change. But just having that overall goal in place is what you're being guided to do, because it gives you something to look forward to, it gives you motivation, and it helps you to make progress towards your goals. Okay. So you may also want to reconsider why you're doing things. And we all can get stuck in this loop of wanting fortune, wanting fame, wanting to be able to help and support others, and wanting that recognition and acknowledgement and those rewards. We're having a human experience, so that's understandable. But it may be about just going within and reconfirming what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that things are coming from your heart space, not coming from obligation or what you feel society wants or what you feel like is going to sell or any of those things. If you're being driven by external forces, then that is a trigger to help you understand, like, you may want to reconsider why you're doing things and what are your intentions. Okay. Okay, so we were going to look at sort of the mask that you're wearing here, what you're presenting to the world, and it's asking us to redirect that question. So let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so you may be, like I said, considering doing things because of the outcome or the acknowledgement that it can provide to you. And so you're really being guided to switch that up and ensure that things are coming from that heart space. The work that you're putting into it should be inspired. Okay? So make sure that you're doing things that inspire you, that make you feel passionate, that make you feel fulfilled, and that are contributing to society and to the collective in a positive way. You're doing things that are raising the frequency and vibration. Okay? So really look at your purpose. Okay, let's go here. Okay, there's new opportunities all around you and available to you. So you may want to just carefully evaluate the options that are out there, because there's a lot of chances to grow here that are being presented to you. And I feel like there's a lot of different paths that you can go down. There's a lot of different avenues and options for you. So stepping into that place where you're coming from and viewing things from your heart space will help you decide what is right for you and what's worth it to put your energy into. Okay, because we have new beginnings all around, lots of different options, lots of different paths. You're deciding what your focus is going to be. But there's also this component of you doing things and deciding what's right for you from your heart space. So what else do we have here? Yeah, and there's a lot of healing out here that is in process or needs to happen, and I hear that your purpose is tied to that in some way. So there is work for you to do that in some way helps the community, the collective, to understand their powers and who they are, and in that process heal themselves, right? Because we cannot, as individual entities, humans, heal each other. I mean, we can do things to support that process, but it's generally you being that inspiration so others see that you've healed yourself and how far you've come and what you've accomplished, and them being inspired by you doing it and living it to do it on their own for their self. So this isn't you taking responsibility and accountability for everyone's healing. It's you taking responsibility and accountability for your own healing, and then being that example and inspiration to others to do the same. Okay? So let's look at guidance here. We have the Knight of Cups. Just bring love from a heart-centered space and run things through your heart chakra as you're deciding what's right for you and what you want to continue to build out, the gifts and talents that you want to focus on and share. Allow those decisions to come from your heart chakra. And that'll be your answer. Because I'm hearing that, you know, as Tauruses, we're very logical, we're analytical, sometimes a little too much. And so you're really being guided to step away from that a little, just a little, to decide what's right for you and what you want to explore. Okay, so what else? So we have the Two of Swords here. Again with the decision, so you may still be considering this. I don't know that you're going to resolve this week. It looks like there's still decisions. There's a lot of underlying beliefs and values that you have about yourself that are going to come to the surface and are things that you need to address to allow you to be whole and complete and fulfilled and remember who you are. So there's a couple ideas that you may have that are not true about yourself, your self-confidence, your self-worth, your value, who you are, your innate self, and the powers that you possess. So there's a lot of underlying that you have about that are not true. And when you switch to understanding your power and understanding that you are a part of Source and understanding that you have infinite abilities and talents and gifts and that there's nothing you can't accomplish and achieve, when you start to trust in that, when you know that, then that's when things are going to start happening for you. But you thinking it or wavering is why you're still in the energy of like, oh, some things are happening but others aren't, or, you know, still trying to get to that place of where you are feeling fulfilled and you are receiving your desires. So just look at the areas and things that are keeping you stuck and how you can release them to move on and to step into that place of success, of fulfillment, of satisfaction. What else? So we have the Five of Wands here. I feel like there may be some, as a part of this journey here that you're going on, no matter what path you choose, there's highs and lows, there's ups and downs, and it's a part of your learning process. It's a part of what you design for yourself to learn by coming here and having this human experience. So view it as such, the best you can. Don't internalize things. Don't make things about you. And I'm talking to myself here as well, because sometimes it is easy to do that, especially when you're working on balancing your emotions. Okay? So really work on that process and understand that, okay, this is just, I need to learn something here. What am I needing to learn so I can learn that and move on? Okay? What else? Trust. I love that. Because that is what we are talking about here. Trusting in yourself, trusting in who you are, and trusting that you are worthy just because you exist. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else needed. We also have independence as well. So you're stepping into your sovereignty and the Empress or Emperor that you are. All-powerful, all-knowing, limitless. All of those. What else? We have Sagittarius. So taking calculated risks, being optimistic. We also have independence here again. So that's a very strong message. Being open-minded. Also being straightforward as well and honest and direct about what you need and what you're going after. Being that leader. Taking charge, being assertive. Okay? trusting in your creative abilities and your knowledge and wisdom about these areas, gifts and talents that you want to explore and expand. Trust that you know everything that you need to know at this point in time, and anything you need to know will come to you in the process of you taking inspired action. So as you are acting, as you are doing what feels good to you, more knowledge, wisdom, and information will come to you at the exact right moment in time that it's needed. Okay? So trust that. Let's see, what else? Let's look at outcomes really quickly here. So we have the Knight of Wands, getting into things that you feel passionate about and sticking to that. So again, with the decision-making process, go with your intuition, go with what you feel passionate about and what ignites that passion within you. So we have learning, joy, art, music, getting into those self-care practices that may help you come up with those areas, those options for you that you want to explore and expand on. Do your self-care practices. Okay, so there's definitely going to be some guidance there for you. It may be just as a part of that while you're coloring, you may receive a download. Okay, things like that. We have giving and receiving. To me, this is about you being open-minded and giving what you have and what you feel comfortable with, and participating in the process of sharing creative gifts and talents back and forth within the collective, within your community. Okay? So this doesn't always have to be about money or giving things. This could be giving time, giving effort, sending beautiful or positive messages. Okay, so in any way that you feel comfortable with supporting others, that's what you're being guided to do. You cannot make this up. We have generosity here as well. Okay, so in any way that you feel guided to give and to support others is the message here. We have health, so get back into those health and wellness routines. Get back to your exercise. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drinking water, and you're getting those workouts in. And I'm talking to myself here because I know that's me. I need to get back on that regimen. So it is coming out here as confirmation of yes, that is going to be helpful to you this week. All right, Taurus, so those are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great week.